What's good, my peoples? Welcome to the Bliss Pickup Wednesday edition. I think this is probably the first time we actually pushed the show back. I almost didn't make it here, so I'm not even gonna let y'all guess who Mike Best said, oh shit, let's see Jess. Oh yeah, it's me, Mike Best. It's me. Yeah, Jess took a day off. She put in PTO already, so I don't know if she probably called Alex and he taught her how to use PTO. But I don't know, bro. We might have to get on Jess about this. But yeah, it's just becoming the new Alex is wild. But yes, man. Listen, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking, man. I'm gonna let y'all come on and get up in here. As you can see, man, today, listen, the Miami Dolphins, according to people, I don't know, according to a source, a well connected source, the Miami Dolphins will be the AFC championship, the conference champion this year. So we're gonna talk about that. We got a bunch of off-season madness that's been going on. So we're gonna get into a couple of topics. Plus, leaders in the locker room. We're gonna discuss the different type of leaders because it seems like my co-host only know one type of leader and one type only. So we're gonna get into a healthy debate about that. And listen, shout out to y'all on the way in, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. You hear me? But where's the yo? Without further ado, let me bring up my co-host real quick. Lou, what's good?
Tone, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. Right? I ain't gonna lie to you.
Good.
Calling out on your first 2 weeks of your job, that's insane.
You can't even give a 2-week notice in.
You can't even get 2 weeks without calling out, dog.
Yo, that is kind of wild. But what's good, Lou, man? Man, listen, man. What's good?
Ain't nothing, man. Chilling, man. You know, I'm out here at my local gym, Tone, while I'm doing the show. I'm throwing a couple jabs at the bag. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting right, Tone. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Oh Lord, listen, Lord. I had some notes, right? Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. These quarterfinal matches or whatever's going on is killing me with getting back to the crib in time to set up the show. So, man, I probably have to start leaving work early. I probably have to call out my real job like they do over on the Blitz Pickup up to get here in time. But listen, man, like we do always, we just scratched all the notes. I got different topics because like always, Tyreek gotta give us some kind of content that we can speak on, right? He always got something to say. So I take it you watched the video that I showed you, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Tone. Absolutely.
Hold on. Before I do that, Sean, I see you in the building. Grumpy, what's good, y'all boys? Grumpy, the Stone Luisito. Dre, we saw you already up there. Crypto coach. Wow. Stop it, Crypto. Mike Best, I see you in the building. God, dog, gee, give us some time, man. Life be lifing. Cruz, wait, no, Cruz right here. I'm sorry. Cruz, shout out to Cruz. You the first in the building. We're not even gonna talk about this. I don't know Tyler Hero.
Well, I'm ready to drop the link. I don't know about you, Tone. I'm ready to drop that link.
Well, last time we dropped the, you know what? I don't
even... there goes Tony again. I told y'all in this Twitter space, I only got messy because Tony gets messy. You see what I'm saying?
Last time we dropped the link, we had somebody defending themselves for the past 2 days. So I don't know if it's safe to drop the link over here like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You feel me? So I'm gonna let y'all decide. Game Boy 305, if you sure that you want that smoke, you know how it goes over here. But listen, Lou, what's good with you, man? Talk to me about Tyreek and his off the field antics and yet another soundbite for Tyreek, man. What you think? Give me what you feel about that? Or how you feel about that? My bad,
bro. When is this ever going to stop, Tom?
I knew it.
The man literally said we'll be playing Kansas City in the championship game, and the Dolphins are going to the Super Bowl. Tua Tagovailoa again now is the greatest quarterback to ever play in the NFL. When 3 weeks ago he did a top 10 list and Tua wasn't even on that list. Like, what are we doing, Tone? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, people. This is what I was trying to say, Tone. Like, people tried to create. Oh, the culture's changing. The play. No, it's not, bro. You know what this sounds like when you see comments like this, Tone, from Tyreek Hill? It sounds like last year. and the year before that, and the year before that. It sounds the same. You see what I'm saying? How can anything be changing, Tone, but it's always the same? Bro, again, this Tyreek Hill, bro, just trade him already, bro. No, Tone, for real, dog. Like the Jalen Ramsey's, the Tyreek Hills, the problems, bro. Like, what are we holding on for? And the argument is always, well, it's about the money, or what are we going to get back? Who cares? Who cares at this point, Tone? He's more of a problem than he is the solution, right?
Yeah.
So, Tone, man, listen, again, as far as the comments, we all know it's cap, right? They're not going to play Kansas City in the championship game. They're not going to be playing in the Super Bowl. Tua Tagovailoa is not the best quarterback in the league. And I'm just tired of all the nonsense, Tone. It gives us content, so don't get me wrong. It gives us something to talk about in the offseason. But does it really matter, bro?
You got to have faith, my brother. You don't have faith?
Oh, here we go. So are you ready? Are you ready to come out and say the oos is loose? Is that what we're doing?
I would never say that, no sir. Hey, listen, I will give you this. I would say this, right? If it wasn't coming from Tyreek, clearly trolling, right? Because you just pointed out easily, like you just had a list and you didn't have him in your top 10. I'm in top 5. I'm sorry. And now you're on stage saying not only are we going to win win playoff games. We're going to win the AFC East Conference Championship. The Dolphins are the AFC East champion. I mean, the AFC Conference Championship, not AFC East. The Dolphins are the AFC Conference champions, according to Tyreek Hill. He's speaking it into existence. So I'll be honest with you, I just don't get it, because at this point, everyone knows you trolling, right? And when does it become cringeworthy? Or when does it, like you said, when do people get tired? And I'm talking about the people that's doing the shows and having them on their shows. They love it because they got sound bites. People are going to, eat that up. People are going to, like, just take that and run with it. That's what they're going to do. They're going to get clicks. They're going to get the what you call that? When people come on your the engagement, they're going to get the engagement up. They're going to get all that stuff that they want. But from us as the Dolphins fan base, which we have to explain this kind of stuff sometimes, or we have to answer to some of the things that he's saying, it's tiresome. It's like, bro, what else? What else you gonna do, bro? Like every time we come out and we say, yeah, we done seen it all, we heard it all, something else again and again and again. So at this point, I'm not even gonna say we saw and heard everything already, because they're gonna find a way to say something else to make us look bad. And it's just yo, hold on, wait. Cruz said maybe the Dolphins trade Ramsey for NBA draft pick. If that was possible, Cruz, I would be open to that. That's a fact, right? But yes, every time we come out and say that, we've seen it all, we heard it all, another thing come out. What I would say though, if it wasn't Tyreek, I wouldn't have had a problem with them coming out and having, confidence in our team. So for the people that say, oh, what do you expect the players to do, or what do you expect him to do when they ask about the team, y'all want them to be doom and gloom? No. What I want them to do is, like we always tell people, read the room. Understand the circumstances. Understand the narrative surrounding his team. The narrative is the coach, they're soft, right? The narrative is that they're not changing the culture, which they say they changing the culture. The former players, right? The people that understand culture and how to change it, they're saying they're tired of you guys talking. At one point, do you understand? Stop talking and just show your actions, right? It's like, do you not understand? Actions speak louder than words. At what point are they going to understand the position that this team is in? We are not here for you guys to come out here and tell us anything that we know is most likely not going to happen. Y'all not in a position to be like, oh yeah, we're going to win the AFC Championship game. We're going to do this or we're going to do that. You know why? Because I don't know if y'all heard the story. It's a story called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. That's what y'all becoming. The boy who cried wolf. You say it so many times and it don't happen to when it's going to get you hurt at one point. And now it's affecting us. Man, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear it at this point because we heard it before. So when you're going to learn to, bro, just be quiet. Put your head down. Get the job done.
Yeah, because again, when he says we're playing in the AFC Championship game and we're going to the Super Bowl, right? Again, I know Mike Best is the only one in there that's saying why be doom and gloom and stuff. Cool. He lied. That we know that's a lie. You know what it would have been a much better answer, Tone? And this is, again, I'm going to start talking from my mindset, how I would handle things. Because I know later on we got a couple other topics that I'm going to give you my mindset and how I would handle things too, right? But when that question was posed to Tyreek Hill, if that's me.
Wait, let me stop you right there.
Okay.
The question was not posed to him. I forgot to mention that part. He volunteered the information. They was asking about the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And the success that they had, right? And it was like, the Kansas City Chiefs, we already know. Well, the guy was like, we know they're going to be in this position, and we see them being in a position in the near future, right? And they don't think it's going to end. The run is going to end no time soon. And he was like, man, you tripping, man. The Dolphins going to win the AFC Championship. So he just do it, which it would be nice. It would have been nice, and I would have appreciated if it wasn't coming from him, first of all, and a team that we know has been all talk and never back anything up.
But that's the point, Tone, right there. Your last statement, they're all talk. So the question wasn't posed. That's fine. If a question comes up about anything about this team or culture, right? You know how I would answer that, Tone, or you know how I want the team to answer those questions? I'm done talking about the narratives. Right. That's how you answer. I'm done talking. Right. Mm-hmm. That's it. You see how clean that came out, Tone? That's believable. That's showing that you're trying to change the culture. We're not going to talk about it because what we're going to do is come out on Sundays and we're going to prove it. That's what a statement like that makes.
Fact.
You see how easy that is, Tone? I should work for the PR department for the Miami Dolphins.
You should.
I would have this team cleaned up, Tone, real quick. Hey, what about the culture? And we're done talking about the culture. Quick, done. Next question. I'm on my Bill Belichick. I'm on that Cincinnati.
That's a fact, bro.
You see what I'm saying, Tone?
Like, bro, it's. And I get it. It's tiresome. It's aggravating. But that's a perfect way to answer that. You could clearly say it. We've done enough talking. That's it. We know about the narrative. We heard about the narrative. We spoke about the narratives. You know, it's time for us to show what we're going to do. That's it, bro. You don't have to go out there and say, yo, we're going to win. We're going to win. Perfect statement. I'm done talking. That's it. Next question. That's it. When you physically start to get aggravated with those questions and it start to get on your nerves and you get agitated, that's when you understand you're ready for action because you don't even want to talk about it no more. Everyone knows, well, at least the people that know that's like that, when it's time to go to war or it's time to go to combat, you don't want to talk about that no more. I'm done talking. I'm preserving my energy for when we go to combat. Why I'm wasting energy talking to you? No. I'm focused right now. The champions, when it's fight night, they focus. Ain't no talking.
You agree with this right here, Tone?
They keep showing us Mike can't drive the boat. Mike McDaniel. So I would say this, and shout out to TD of y'all, and shout out to y'all. We saw y'all in the chat showing us love. Listen, when y'all go and show support on other platforms, and the majority of the comment section are people that are our subscribers and our fan base over there showing support, that really means a lot to us, and shows people on the other platforms that yes, we do have a fan base that rocks with us and rocks with us heavy. So I want to shout all y'all out, right? But to the ones that haven't watched it, go back yesterday, last night, the boys was on TD Fans Talk. And we had a nice, healthy debate about where it started with the Dolphins could have a successful season if, and then it got to the Mike McDaniel and has he done his job and, things of that nature. So to say that he can't drive the boat, I would not say that. I would say he can't drive the boat. I would say I'm not satisfied with his driving ability. I would say that. So, he there's things that he can improve upon and things that I think he needs to work on if he wants to be a complete head coach. I want to say that word, complete head coach, so you don't take it away from I'm saying he's not a good head coach. No, I need him to be a complete head coach and learn the little small things that people don't tell you about, or that you don't know. You have to literally get the experience to understand, oh, this is different. It's not only about this. I don't have to only focus on this. I have to focus on this, that, and a third. So I will appreciate. I will hope for him to improve on that aspect. But to say that they proven that he can't drive the boat, I wouldn't go that far. Lou. Right now, my bad.
Yeah, listen. I don't know how many times I got to come out and try to defend Mike McDaniel. And when I say defend, I'm not absolving him of anything. To your point, Tone, yeah, there's things he has to work on there, has to get better. But I'm glad you used the word experience. You don't gain experience in 2.5 years. And before his third season of coaching football, people wanted him out of here.
Yeah.
Now, it's crazy because, again, the key word I always use, Tone, is hypocrisy. Now, when we fired Brian Flores after 3 years, everybody that wants Mike McDaniel fired after 3 years were the same ones saying Brian Flores got a raw deal. That they didn't let him complete the task.
Yeah.
Right? That's what everybody said. But now all of a sudden, because, again, Mike McDaniel, right, he don't get to finish his path. He don't get to finish his vision for this football team. All I'm saying is, bro, you got to develop, right, and get better. Every day, Tony, you wake up, I'm sure you wake up with, hey, I want to be better than I was yesterday.
Right.
Same thing with me. Same thing with Mike McDaniel. When I hear he can't steer the bus, this, that, and the third, bro, like, again, we'll get into it later. My onus moving forward is players, bro. Players are the only ones that's going to make this thing really work. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So but again, I
understand that.
I might be higher on Mike McDaniel than others.
Hi chat. Love you all. Make sure my co-hosts stay in line. I'm not gonna lie. Taking a page out of Alex's playbook is wild. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
calling out, and then being in the chat is kind of wild.
Tone, in 2 weeks, Tone, you don't even get 8 hours of PTO time.
These are facts.
Like what are we doing? Within 2 weeks, we're already calling out. That's
you know what,
crazy.
Lou? You know what? We gotta talk to our front office. Maybe our front office is a bit too lenient. My bad.
Hey man, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting in an HR claim right now. I'm telling you that now.
I think we need to set a standard around here, Lou. I'm sorry. We gotta listen, ask me loud the word. We gotta practice what we preach. Von Joe, the question, gentlemen, Lewis and Tony H. Thank you for capitalizing my name. When it comes down to teams, we know the team like Mike, but do they respect him? We know the team like Mike, but do they respect him? See, listen, I don't need you liking me. I need your respect. I don't care. I don't care for anyone liking me, bro. Like me, hate me, love me. I don't care. If you respect me, we could get along. We could work together. We could do everything. So all that like and all that, nah, bro. Hey, yo, look. He say Bliss Picker has a questionable culture. Is this the Florida problem?
Damn.
Hey,
well, real quick, I've had a few drinks at the NBA draft party. A salute to you, Jess, for being at the party. Hopefully they have a good time. But I want to go to the second part. I had to call out tonight, but I'm still better than Alex. Hey, yo.
Taking shots is crazy. She's taking shots literally and figuratively.
Hey, Tone, taking shots on your day off is crazy. Taking shots on your day off is crazy.
Yeah. Hey, that problem still don't jam. You hear me? But listen, back to the Tyreek thing. What I want to end it off like this, right? We understand like it's the offseason and players could do what they want to do and we don't want them to be robots. I would never say that. We don't want them to be robots. But at some time, at some point of the time, right, you have to understand that, bro, it's better to be quiet because you're a public figure and everything you say is going to be magnified. And with knowing the culture and the temperature in the locker room and in the building, you should understand that these are the things that you should not be doing. And this is the only thing that I'm trying to get at least the team to understand, which they need to come over here and listen to us. Because the problems in the locker room wouldn't be there, right? So I just don't get it. But listen, this is what I want to say, because I'm gonna skip. I'll see the madness, forget that, because I know I want to leave right into, because this topic is gonna leave right into leaders in the locker room. Now, Lou, I heard you earlier, and I didn't hear everything because I wasn't in the space. So I heard you earlier speaking on the difference in like A-Chan and being a dog, and it sounded like you were saying some good things, but it sounded like it said some things that I was going to disagree with. So can you please reiterate what you were saying over here so I could get the gist of what you were trying to say based on A-Chan not being leader? Or I think you were saying he should have said something to Tyreek or something along those lines.
Yeah, so in the Twitter space, Tone, I forgot who posed the question. It was either Nene or Dave Bonjo. Somebody posed the question of, is Tyreek, with the comments that he just made, is Tyreek the voice and like the leader of the locker room, right?
They say, "Yo, Bully TV is
Yo,
wow."
that's crazy. Bully
I thought,
TV, yo, crazy.
well,
But yeah,
burritos go when you need them, man.
for real, man. You know what I'm saying? But oh, so Von Joe, there you go. I don't want to misquote anybody. Von Joe posed a question, and with that started the conversation, the topic of no. The answer is no. He shouldn't be the leader, right, Tone? We all agree Tyreek shouldn't be the leader of the team.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now I pose the question, well, who is the dog in the lead? Like, who's the dog in the locker room that could go up to Tyreek? And to your point, Tone, people took my words a couple weeks ago when we were having the same conversation about, I'm not saying put my hands on somebody, right? But it's like what you said. Could someone go in that building and, hey, Tyreek, let me holler at you, dog. Just let me holler at you real quick. And again, it ain't got to be no screaming, yelling match or nothing. But remember a couple of days ago when Tyreek made the comment, Tone, of, well, I'm going to try my best to keep Jalen Ramsey around. I'm going to try to mend them fences. Right? Remember that?
Yeah.
All right, Tone, this is the problem. Your general manager has came out and said they're already exploring trade options, right? Your head coach comes out and says, I don't want to talk about Jalen Ramsey. He's not in the building, blah, blah, blah. We're moving forward, this and that. They're clearly sending a statement. We're not talking about Jalen Ramsey. So for Tyreek to make that comment, I would like someone in the building because, again, Tone, remember a few weeks ago, what was the topic? Well, Tua is, and all quarterbacks for that matter, should be the leader. I agree with y'all. I absolutely agree with that. All the point I was trying to make is, Tone, we, both of us, know that Tua's not, right? And everybody that comes over here and listens to us, Tone, knows Tua is not. So that's why I pose the question. Well, then who's going to take that leadership role? And that's why I threw myself in the mix. That's why I said if it was me, I'd go up and, oh, so you're not going to follow this guy and you're not going to follow this guy. Well, guess what? I'm going to make you follow me one way or another. By the way I go about it, by the way I train, by the way I practice, by the way I watch film. However, or, hey, man, sometimes some furniture might have to get moved, right? But one way or another, you're going to understand what I'm trying to put down. Now, what I brought up earlier today when you asked about A-Chain in the space, let me go a little bit further, Tom. When we brought up A-Chain and I heard A-Chain is a dog, this, that, and the third. This is where, for me now, I disagree, Tom, right? People look at dog as production. No. He's productive. He's a very good player, right? That doesn't make you a dog or a leader, though. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. I don't want to get it confused, because if that's the case, Tyreek Hill is a dog, he's a leader, he's productive, right? I think that's where the confusion lies. What I'm saying is, if everybody believes in A-Chain, and A-Chain, think about it, Tony, he's one of the biggest guys that has been pushing where we're going to change the culture. This year's going to be different, this, that, and the third. Okay, cool. He's looking like he's taking a leadership role. Well, then if that's the case, Tone, why can't A-Chain go up to Tyreek Hill? And again, respectfully, hey, Tyreek, come here, dog. Listen, the general manager, man, look, we're trying to start something new. We're starting to try to start fresh, this and that, whatever, woo, woo, woo. And explain to Tyreek Hill, yo, you're going against the grain, right? Can anybody do it? And that's all I'm saying. I don't believe Devon A-Chain has that in him. And that's what when we talk about dogs, or at least for me, Tone, when I talk about dog, yeah, you got to be a dog on the field, which A-Chain got, no doubt, right? He's a dog on the field. I need him to be a dog in that locker room. Because to your point, what do you always bring up to me, Tone, and this is where I'll land, right? You always bring up the fact that in all the biggest games and biggest moments, and A-Chain shows up, right? Okay, if you do that, then start being a little bit harder in the locker room and make others do that, right? You should be able to make people gravitate towards that. Instead of the people playing lackadaisical and lazy and not giving all their effort. No. If I'm A-Chain, and if I'm A-Chain, I'm going in there and be like, God damn, dog, I'm 5'8", I'm 180 pounds, and I'm out here outworking y'all. I'm out here doing this. I'm out here. Y'all need to be like me. Y'all need to follow me, is what I'm saying, Tone. And I don't know if he has that in him. And again, I just think a lot of people, that's their perception because of production. Nah, bro, production is great and it's one thing, but that's not being a leader or a dog, in my opinion, neither. I'm sorry. And that's basically what I was saying.
Now, for the most part, I agree with it. I'm gonna tell you what I disagree with. I disagree with a dog having to be a leader. Just because you're a dog don't mean you have leadership qualities. You remember that dude Vontaze Burfict from Cincinnati, the linebacker, the one who put that big hit on.
Absolutely, yep.
He was a dog, unquestionably, right? But he was nowhere near leader. He always did boneheaded mistakes. He always had off-field issues, and that's pretty much what's his downfall in the league. So I completely disagree with the fact that just because you're not a leader, you can't be a dog. You know what I'm saying? That's still on that same team. Chad Ochocinco. You think Chad Ochocinco is a dog? I believe so. But he's not your leader. He's not going to be your leader. I give you another one. Terrell Owens. You think Terrell Owens is a dog?
Absolutely.
I believe so. But he's not your leader. So I disagree with the fact that just because they're a dog, they have to be the leader. But let me tell you what I do agree with you, because I like your mindset. Would I love for A-Chain to be a dog, a leader on and off the field? Yes. Because he has, right, the on-field mindset that you want out of a leader. You
1,000%. 1,000%.
Now, when I go back and I listen, I see all this, I understand now a lot more when you say, well, it would be nice if A-Chain was that. And I see it's more of a disappointment. And I'm starting to get disappointed because, bro, you got all of the, like, your stats. And he's young, right? He's young, but I don't care. Because if you're a leader from the get-go. And plus, when you on the field, you do your thing, right? I've seen you take shots at Tyreek, which means you have a relationship with him to where y'all could talk. When y'all was talking about the race, when y'all was talking about, remember he did that interview, they were like, who's the fastest? And he said, well, I don't get ran down. You remember that? Taking shots at Tyreek, and then Tyreek came back and tweeted at him. So they have a relationship. So yes, I think he should, and I would like for him to be more of a dog when it comes to leadership qualities. The only thing that I think I would disagree with is I'm not going to hold that against him because he's more of a silent person. But you can't be silent right? And then come out on shows and say, no, I believe there are dogs in this building. You
And
gotta
and
be one way or the other, bro. So I will give you
and,
that credit when it comes. Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
no, and that's the point though. It don't have to be A Chain. I was just using A Chain as the example because, to y'all's point, he's one of our best players, right? And to your point, Tone, which again you're very accurate in, I never push back. A Chain does show up. So what I'm saying is he's assuming that role.
Yeah.
See, where me and you, I think, differ when the names that you were mentioning. I agree that those guys were dogs but weren't leaders. But you know what they had on those teams that they played on? Leadership.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Miami's case, we don't have no leaders. So all I'm trying to highlight is I need somebody to assume the role. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Facts. Okay.
from that standpoint, all I'm saying is I'm conceding where y'all believe in A Chain. Well, now I believe in him too. I want you to become that leader. Because to again, Tone, to your credit, right? He does everything right. He's showing up. He's performing on the field. People should gravitate towards that, is what I'm saying. And if he just keeps going by being the silent leader and just, doing his work, no, bro. What I need you to do is come in there and start assuming, hey, you guys see me work the team meeting, let's say Tone starts at 7:30 and I'm in the building at 6:15. I need you to start grabbing people to show it with you at 6:15. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's what I'm asking for. And it don't have to be HN. I'm just saying it just seems like he's the one to do it. Right? And
Now listen.
that's the only point I'm trying to make, Tom.
Now look, Lewis and Tony, real talk, not Tua stand. You know what? You really don't think Tua is a leader is the leader of this team? Let me explain something to you, Mike Best. And I get it. He's the quarterback, right? You can't be a leader, the type of leader that I want, when you have people like Tyreek that needs tough coaching, people to be on him 24/7 and don't cut him no slack. You cannot be a leader of this team when that guy comes out and says, man, we get in an argument and he won't talk to me for days. That's not a leader. A leader is a leader every day. A leader can get in a heated debate, and they can either go to fisticuffs, but he's back on his job. Right? We give this example every time. Prior to one of our shows, me and Lewis got in a very heated debate. He felt like I said something disrespectful to him. But you know what happened? We still set the show up. We still came on here and we still did our job. And guess what? It was water on the bridge, because you know what that means? I understand and he understands when we talking to each other, it's not to try to down talk you. It's, you know what I'm saying? When he says something, no, you did something wrong, he let me know, no, you could do better than that. And that's with the communication that I had towards him. People understand this. So you got to understand, you can't be no leader if you're running from conflict. I'm sorry. So if you want to say he's a good leader, is he's a leader? No, he's in a position that is usually the leader on his team, right? But a leader, just because you have the position, don't mean you are a leader. And I'm talking about from his actions. You're talking about he's the quarterback and people are supposed to listen to him. He do have a voice because of his contract, and he seems to have the backing of the head coach and for the most part the owner, right? Yes, in that aspect, you can call him a leader. You can have a title of a leader, but we're talking about the unquestionable leader of this team. Anyone outside of the Miami Dolphins and outside of Dolphin fans would tell you that they would say Tyreek is the leader of this team before Tua any day of the week. Is that a fact? Stop me when I'm lying. Most people outside of this fan base think Tyreek is the leader of this team. There is no question who's the leader in Cincinnati. There's no question who's the leader in Baltimore, who's the leader in Buffalo. There's no question when people like that on them teams. So what I'm saying is, when we talk about being the leader, right? When Tyreek is on the sideline yelling at Mike McDaniel, right? Where's the leaders at? Where's the leaders let him know now, bro? Hold that in a locker room. When Tyreek is on the sideline, last game of the season, and Waddle got to say, "Hey, yo, Reek, you out? You done?" Where's the leadership say, "Nah, Tyreek, we gonna need you on that field, my brother." Or at least say, "Nah, bro, if you ain't gonna be on the field, to get out of here." I would rather take that. What's the coach that did that to Davis? What his name? Vernon Davis. Can't win with him. Won't play with him. Can't do it.
That was Mike Singletary.
Mike Singletary. I would rather them take that. You don't want to? Okay, go ahead. Right. These are fact. Matter of fact, thank you, Von Joe. There's no question who's the leader in Houston, and that dude is only 2 years in. This is his third year. In Washington, there's no question who's the leader over there. He was a rookie. Great point, Von Joe.
And the point real quick, that H is saying, just because you're willing to throw hands didn't make you a leader neither. No one's saying that though.
That's a fact.
But no one's saying that. See again,
because when I brought up Vontaze Burfict and Terrell Owens, we know they was willing to throw hands, but they weren't leaders.
And they weren't leaders. But guess who was also willing to throw them hands? Them leaders.
The leaders, yeah.
Them leaders were still willing to throw hands. And again, I think that goes back to the conversation that when people heard me a few weeks ago, they just thought that's the only thing I was talking about. No, bro. I'm conceding. But somebody needs to be able to address. My fault. I didn't know we were putting that comment up. I'm just saying, Tone.
Go ahead. Wait, you want to put one? Oh, okay. I'm putting.
Oh no, there was one up. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, you, to Tony's point, you can. Hey, Reek, just let me holler at you, dog. That's it. Hey, Reek. Look, man. Listen. You know the narratives, and you know what's going on, dog. And we're trying to change things. You know, it looks like the front office, the team, the organization, whatever, they're looking to move off of Ramsey or whatever. We can't have you in front of the mic, dog, talking about you want to bring them back. You know what I'm saying? That's not throwing hands. But that conversation is leadership. You're trying to show guidance to another player. You see what I'm saying? And Tone, I thought you just said it best. Week 18, Tyreek quitting on the team, and you got a player screaming from the field, "Hey, Reek, you done? Reek, you done?" And nothing happens. Like Reek just sits there on the sideline. Like, no, bro, somebody needed to. Now, this is where, again, I'm going to go up. "Hey, Reek, dog, we need you on the field." If he still don't move, that's when Tone, and again, maybe I get thrown off the team. You know, maybe it's a bad look on the TV or whatever. I'm yoking Tyreek up, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But bro, we have to put a stop to it, Tone.
Yes.
That's the only way it's gonna change. Like, I don't understand why people it's so hard for people to understand that concept.
I don't get it either. And I just bringing up a lot of the comments because there's a lot of people making great points in the comment section, right? And the different Concrete had a great one when he was like, "We forgot," and I did, Concrete. I did forget that when Tyreek came over, he was teaching Tua how to be a leader. You remember that was his first thing. He said, "Man, my first thing I want to get with Tua and teach him how to be a leader and teach him what he learned from Patrick Mahomes to understand what it takes to get to that next level." Y'all forgot about that? And I guess Tyreek got under his skin. But you know what? When people do things that maybe rub you the wrong way or things that you don't like, you put them in a place. This is what leaders does. Because remember when Chad went to where he went and he was like, when he was trying to move in with Carson Palmer, you remember? Carson Palmer like, "No, we ain't doing that. We go study together. You can come over and but you not staying with me, but I got a wife and kids." Put him in his place. We know Chad we get under your skin. We saw that 1 year when he was on Hard Knocks at the Dolphins. But
Absolutely.
you know what those people do? Put him in his place. No, you're gonna have to chill with all that. I'm not with that. You do that on that side. We gonna get the job done. But all that extra stuff, no, leave that out here.
Mike Best, please tell me what do you mean by how do we know Tua didn't say that, Lewis? Can you what situation? I hope, Tone, I really hope Mike Best is not trying to imply that Tua said anything to Tyreek Hill week 18. I hope that's not what that comment means.
Is that what you're implying?
No, no, I'm just saying that's why I
No, I'm asking
highlighted
Mike
it.
Best.
Yeah, Mike Best, please let me know what you mean by that. Hopefully, it's not what I think you're trying to imply. Like if Tua didn't say nothing to Tyreek.
I don't think. Listen, when you have players on your team that does things that need and that need to be disciplined, I think we should understand that the most disciplined and the people that these players respect the most are the players. I wish. Hey, did I send you that the OGs podcast with Udonis Haslam and Mike Miller when they were speaking about the year
Yeah,
that we had
absolutely. Yep.
LeBron James and Eric Spoelstra? You remember what they said? Greatest great as a coach Eric Spoelstra was. Sometimes LeBron would say, "Don't even look at him because we're not running those plays." And they all said, those are the type of people that you need on your team. That's what you need your leader to do to win championship. You are not winning the championship if you don't have a guy like that on your team. And I don't know why we got to keep reiterating this to these people to get this through their head that, bro, the players that don't take our word for it. Take it from the players that have been there, done that. You need your leaders to take command of the team. That's the only way you're going to have a successful culture.
This man said, my point is Tua and Tyreek have a great relationship, kind of like you and Tony. How do we know Tua didn't go?
First of all, don't ever disrespect me and Lewis' relationship because
Yeah,
we fight,
that's what
argue,
I'm
and fuss.
saying.
Are you crazy? And we be talking 2 seconds later. We ain't never went no weeks and days without talking to each other. Have you lost your man, Mike Best?
Tone, you know what's crazy? You just gave the example of when I didn't like something that happened. I addressed it with you. Cool. 10 minutes later, we were doing a show. Let me give my example of when. Again, we all know sometimes I get a little crazy and out of control, this, that, and the third. You know how many times, again, Tone has called me and said, "Yo, Lou, let me holler at you for a minute."
Oh,
Why, look, you should move like this, blah, blah, whatever
yeah.
Tony tells me, right? Cool. That's going to stay between us. But it's never been to where, like, to make the comparison with that to, bro, we know that Tyreek told Tua one thing and Tua then talked to Tyreek for 2 weeks.
That's a fact, bro.
How can you say that relationship? Like, bro, Tony told you about the story. I just told you about the story. We still do shows together. We talk on a daily basis. We be in Twitter spaces together. Like, there, if it's really a mutual like friendship or relationship or a bond, to Tony's point, he can come up to me and tell me, "Yo, Lou, what the fuck are we doing there?" Blah, blah. Cool. I'm gonna understand, bro. Right? And whether I agree or disagree, or if I take the advice or whatever, that's a different standpoint. But I'm gonna hear the homie out.
That's a fact.
I'm gonna understand where he's coming from, right? And we're gonna move forward. But it's never gonna be, "Oh my God, Tone, I can't believe you talked to me like that."
That
And now I need a 2-week vacation. I'm not gonna do the show with you no more. Like, what are we talking about?
that it's don't I don't understand the mindset, Lou. And matter of fact, Lou could attest to half of the thing. You know how many times I've seen somebody move a certain way, and I'll be like, no, I'm disappointed you even put yourself in that position.
Facts.
I don't care how that person
Facts.
did you wrong. I'm mad you put yourself in that position because I hold you to a higher standard. I will always tell the people that I rock with that. That's on you, my boy. I don't tell me what they did to you. I think you are way better than that. And no, so y'all got to understand the dynamic of people understanding culture and what leadership and what not even don't even worry about leadership. Men holding men accountable is. It's crazy. When we get backstage, we hold each other accountable. When we get on the phone, we hold each other accountable. When we do anything that any one of us say that we should or shouldn't do, we tell people. We understand, hey, yo, I ain't even gonna lie, I expected you to do that. You understand? It's times when Lewis came like, nah, Tone, if in that situation, you was wrong, bro. I would have did it like this, and I expected you to do it like that. My bad, Lou. I ain't even look at it from that standpoint. These are facts, bro. Because you can't have a successful relationship. You're not going to do anything successful if you can't have disagreements and be able to talk to it like men. It's not going to happen. It don't happen in real life. I don't know why you think it's going to happen in a competitive sport. I'm sorry. It just don't happen like that. So people have to understand with this. I don't know. We always trying to break the mindset, right? But
Michael K, salute.
Michael K, salute. Michael K, you will never get blocked over here, man. You can call. You say what you want.
Damn. Hey, Tony, you care to elaborate on that?
I'm just saying, it's straightforward. He never get blocked over here. He said what he want. But yes, the fact of the matter is that tough-mindedness don't only come from your leaders, because you know what have to happen? The person receiving the message had to be tough-minded. He can't get in his feeling when somebody say, "No, you did that wrong." No, bro, I don't care. I don't agree with what you're saying right now. I'm sorry, but I don't. And me as a friend, I have to be honest with you. Me wanting what's best for you, I have to be honest with you. Because if I sit here and say yes, and get along, I don't want a locker room that everyone get along. Do you not understand that? I want a locker room that can fellowship. I want a locker room that could go out and hang out, but I want a locker room where people are used to going at each other necks. And that keeps people what? On their P's and Q's. Because be like, I know he probably going to be tripping if I do this. Let me go ahead and not do that. Right? This is kind of crazy. It's really crazy that people don't understand the difference in, just because they put the title under your name don't make you a leader, or just because you're in that position don't make you a leader, because you are not a leader of men. There's plenty of people that's leaders, right? But the people that's under them listen to someone else that's probably their equal more than the person that's supposed to be their superior, because they respect him.
Man, real quick, Tone, not to get off topic, but I think this is the comment of the night right here. And listen, I we're for the people, Tone. So Dre says waiting till the 20th pit is so fun. So grateful we won the play-in. Hey, again, Tone, you know what that means?
I don't understand what that means. I don't understand that. No.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, shout out to Dre, man, for the comment of the night so far, man.
Dre, shout out to Dre for the most sarcastic chat in the chat today, because we know.
I see Mystic in here too. Mystic,
salute. What's good? Trey said it best. There you go, Trey. That captain pack don't mean nothing on our team. It doesn't. Hey, you know what, Lou? Hold on. Let me ask you something. Tyreek also threw a jab at that leadership role. Did you catch that? I forgot about that part. Because me being the biggest leader, right? Ain't that what he said? Me being the top leader of this team.
That is what he said.
Is that not taking a jab? I don't get it. But you gonna tell me that we have real leaders in here? That man don't have. I'll tell you one thing, and and Lou or anyone could attest to this. If you had someone that check you on everything like that, you think twice before saying some stuff like that on whether you fear them or not. When you know you're gonna get checked about it and it's gonna be a problem, you're gonna think twice. You are gonna think twice. That man is so freely. He speaks his mind so freely that he knows that he doesn't have to worry about any consequences. He says what he wants because no one's going to check him on it. No one going to step to him. I want to go back to this. Say, just because you have players respect doesn't mean they see you as a leader. That is a fact, because people can respect.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fact.
He's not a leader. I respect that. He's not the one. I just respect him as a person, how he moves. You understand? So, no, I mean, I agree with that. But listen, the thing about it is the way that Tyreek speaks so freely, it lets you know that that's still all talk right now. It is. Give me one example of us seeing a change in its culture or in its franchise. Can someone give me an example? Tyreek still out there talking foolishness. You know what? Someone pointed it out. When he said he called Buffalo Bills a bunch of bitches. You remember that, Lou?
He did say that, yeah.
Now you gave your boogeyman some more bulletin board material. Every time y'all go out and say something about their team, they beat y'all worse and worse. Every time. And they throw everything y'all do. I wish it were more cold. They had shirts and signs after they smacked y'all up there in Buffalo. You remember the Josh Allen is right here? You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everything y'all say, they're paying attention. And they know they're going to make you pay for that. And the fact of the matter is, Tyreek might only be in his locker room when we go play Buffalo the second time. Might not. It's a slim chance he's not going to be here, but it's a might. And that's a problem. Somebody needs to hold someone accountable here. It's wild to me. It is crazy to me. I don't like it. I just don't. Please, somebody show me. Show me that you're better. Show me that we're changing. Come on, you said he would do that. Oh, they must be going at it in the chat. They going at it in the chat about Tyreek.
They going at it in the chat.
And I would just like, man, I don't get it, right? And listen, I want to ask you this because I wanted to get your opinion on this because we're already 50 minutes in, right? The Tyreek off the field issues, the Ramsey debacle, whatever you want to call it, you know, Zach Sealer not getting his contract, right? With all of those things going down, Mike McDaniel possibly not on the hot. Well, him and Chris Greer, right? With all of those things going down, do you think that? Because I know we feel like they moving and and the reason I'm posing this question because I asked TD this yesterday because he feel like they're in a hot seat. Do you think with all this going on, do that point more to them being on a hot seat, or do that point more to them like understanding that they have leeway and they don't have a care in the world, so they could just move without fear of losing their job?
I'm gonna be honest. The way it looks like for me is that they're moving in a way that how do I want to say this, Tom? I'm just gonna come out and say it. It sounds like Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel have been listening to at least me, right? I think they're both looking at it and they're putting the onus on the players. That's why you don't see a lot of contracts being made or handing out. We know what the situation looks like for a lot of these players in 2026, right? I think now, again, they could be wrong, right? They might. I mean, should they be on the hot seat? I would say yes, right? Even though I wouldn't fire them, but to say, do I believe they should be on the hot seat? Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to, the way you pose the question, yeah, I would take that they think they're putting the players on notice, right? Like, no, this is what it is. This is what our team looks like. You guys are going to have to go out there and figure it out. And the way it looks like to me, they're moving like Mike McDaniel is safe and Chris Greer is safe. And if these players don't get the job done this year, like they haven't done in years past, I believe that, again, Tua Tagovailoa will probably be gone. I know for sure Tyreek is gone. I know for sure Ramsey's gone. I'm pretty sure that Bradley Chubb is going to be gone. Like, this team is going to look different. And I do believe, just to answer your question, Tom, I believe Mike McDaniel is safe, and I believe Chris Greer will be safe. Just from what they're showing us, the optics, again, bro, it sounds like they're listening to what I've been saying. Forget about all this other nonsense about front offices and coaching. And no, bro. The players are the ones. Tone, you said it. We were on TD Finch Talk channel last night. Shout out to the homie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was basically debating with both you and TD. I was saying the same thing. Mike McDaniel, right, is not perfect, but I've seen what he can do with these players, right? I think we always talk about, Tone, development of players. Who has Mike McDaniel developed? Okay, cool. Well, A-Chain, he didn't get better from year 1 to year 2?
Yes, he added to his repertoire.
Does the coach get credit for that?
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Jonnu Smith, Tone, we did a show a couple weeks back, right? We said, yes, he was productive last year, but it was basically a one-year wonder. He was productive this year in Miami. Well, he's played other places. If he's had his best career year under Mike McDaniel, does McDaniel get credit for that?
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, a future Hall of Famer before he got to Miami, or at least on that trajectory. His 2 best seasons in this league was under Mike McDaniel's watch. Does he get credit for that?
Yeah, of course.
All I'm saying is, bro, if he could do, I would love to see Mike McDaniel, and again, this is just my opinion, I would like to see Mike McDaniel, Tone, get an opportunity to really sit down and get a first round or second round quarterback and say, this is my guy. I'm running with this. Let him prove it. So I know I went kind of long, Tone, but no, it looks like they're putting the players on notice. I would say, in my opinion, I think Christopher Aloysius Greer III and Mike McDaniel, even though they should be on the hot seat, I think I would be bringing them back.
So Gameboy 305 said Tua got better too. I agree with that.
Well, there you go. And no argument. Tua has got better. Does Mike McDaniel get credit for that?
Yes, he does.
So there's
now,
development of players, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Now my rebuttal to that would be, push back. If I got to play devil's advocate, is Skylar Thompson didn't get better. He actually he didn't. He got worse.
Show me the coach that's getting Skylar Thompson better.
I don't know. he regressed. That's all I'm saying. He didn't get better. I don't think Liam Eichenberg got any better. I don't think they developed Robert Jones. We don't know what Eric Uzakama, like, he's been on the 3 years, he's been injured. So as much as you could say he has been developing players, I will always give him credit for it. But I'm I always do. I'm not gonna leave out the players that haven't. You know what I'm saying? And yes, you have positional coaches for those things, but again, I lay everything at the feet of the head coach because the overall. But that's the difference over here. I'll give him credit as well for everything that he's done right. We say, to me, he earned a little bit of grace. You always pointed out the most important position, quarterbacks. He did develop Tua. And I feel like Tua has got better, or he took, because people say he didn't develop Tua. He just used what Tua is good at and just expanded upon that, right? But that's part of developing players. It's picking out their strengths and magnifying it. That's part of player development. And then you help him work on the things that he lacked in those places. Unfortunately, you cannot coach up arm strength. Unfortunately, you cannot coach up you getting concussed every time you hit the back of your head.
You can't coach up mobility.
You can't cut mobility. Now, him not sliding, you can coach that up. But all I'm saying is, when I see player development, I just like to look at everything and not just stick to the things that you don't. Because you know how the arguments go typically. The ones that don't like him, they're going to stick to everything he did wrong. The ones that do like him, they're going to stick to everything he did right. And then you're going to argue back and forth. I look at everything and say, well, let's put those together and see, has he done at least a sufficient enough job to say he did his job well enough? But that's how I look at it. Go ahead.
You can't coach. You can't coach, like, to your point, like sliding. No, that's not coachable. That's not coachable because
he got a mentality,
saying,
right? That's Tua's mentality. Yeah, I could give you that. Sometimes people hard-headed, they just hard-headed.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can coach mechanics, right? Like a throwing mechanics, right? You can coach the mechanics, but when the bullets are flying and you got Myles Garrett coming across that edge, right? Sometimes you're going to forget about what you were taught and you're going to go to what comes natural to you, right? So you can teach something, but when the bullets are really flying, that sometimes that might go out the window. So no, I would disagree with like, oh, you can teach him how to slide. No, because Mike McDaniel cannot get into his body on a 3rd and 6 after Tua, let's say, got 7 yards and force him to slide at 8 yards. You see what I'm saying? That has to come from Tua. So no, I would disagree with that. But everything else, I agree with.
Yeah, for the most part, right? You could give him credit for the things that he have done, which is the tours you pointed out, the Reeks they had the best season, John Smith, A10, things of that nature, right? And listen, all I want to say is, when it comes down to, and let me answer my own question, with all this stuff going down, and I know some people look at it like, shout out to TD, he said from his standpoint, he felt like that the checkbooks are closed and they just not doing anything. I mean, they just have to work with what they've been given. I look at it like more on the lines of what you say is, it don't look like they have a care in the world, right? Let me ask you this, right? For the people that's on the side, and we had to leave, so I couldn't ask them. For the people that's on the side of, I think they're on a hot seat, and Stephen Ross closed the checkbook. Why are you trying to trade Ramsey, and get assets for him then?
Very good point.
Wouldn't you keep Ramsey? Like, hey, listen, we need all for all you guys that think Ramsey is that. He's the best quarterback on the team, and if we can't, he's better. If we get rid of him, it's gonna be trash. Then why, if they're supposed to be on the hot seat, why are they adamant about getting him out of the building? Why are they adamant about? Why did they give John Smith permission to seek a trade? Because if you're on the hot seat, you're trying to retain that talent. And say, man, listen, I could get more out of you, I need the best people on and the players on this team to give me the best opportunity to be successful this season. They're looking like they're like, listen, man, we want what's best for the team going in the future. Team, people on the hot seat, they need present right now. What have you done for me lately? You know that not the NFL stands for not for long too. It's not only no fun league, but it stands for not for long. So if your job is in danger or in jeopardy, you don't, to me, and that's just my personal opinion, you don't move the way you're moving. That's why I brought up the Jonnu situation, the Zach Sealer situation, and the Jalen Ramsey situation, and the Tyreek off field. I'm like, all this stuff, it don't seem to me as if they feel like they're on a hot seat. They feel like they secure in their position. Their job is secure. And we know what we got to do to fix it, and we're going to work on that the way we want to. You understand me? And I just think, I look at it from that standpoint. If I think they would have, first of all, Ross wouldn't have to close the checkbook on me, because who's out there? What are you getting back from Ramsey to where you need Ross to open that checkbook? Is that any cornerback you got in mind, Lou? No.
Nah. Nope.
Dante Samuel Jr.? No. Right?
Stephon Gilmore?
No. Now, I'm like, let's be real.
Rashul Douglas?
Not at all. So, all I'm saying is, it don't seem, now we could be shocked. And Stephen Ross said, man, I'm done with this. But all I'm saying, based on the move that they make, and based on how they're moving, I don't see it. I see it as them being comfortable, and they like, man, listen, you know what you said, Louis, you think it's going to be next season, and I think it's going to be 2027. But that soft rebuild is coming, and it looks like they're going to be a part of that. Now, that is unprecedented, right? I get it. I don't know no GM and coach that was able to survive. Well, let me say GM survive 2 rebuilds. I'm trying to see. Now I'm going to start looking for the skeletons in the closet. But it seems like that's the direction we're heading in, right?
But I don't think, see, again, when you phrase it like that, it makes it sound, and I'm not saying you're doing it on purpose, Tone, but when you say last 2 rebuilds, yeah, that sounds a lot worse than one rebuild and let's say a
Retool,
retool, right? Retool sounds a lot better because again,
retool, rebuild, tomato, tomato.
and that's fine, I get it. But let's go back to the rebuild in 2019. They were alphing players and they were picking up UPS drivers and Walmart workers on Wednesday and starting them on Sunday. Like this next retool, they're not doing that. You're still gonna have Waddle. You're still gonna have A-Chain. You're still gonna have Jonah Savanea. You're still gonna have Aaron, whoever, right? It's not gonna be the cupboard is not gonna be as bare as wait, Tom. You want to read that, Tom?
Hey, shout out to my man Doc Brown in the building, man. You know
Who?
I don't know who that is, but
the
hey,
great
salute.
Doc Brown in the building.
Hey, salute, man. Like I said, whoever that is, salute.
I
But
see the hot seat and Ross closing the checkbook. So yeah, that's what he was saying. But shout out to Doc Brown in the building. But go ahead, Lou. You can finish.
but I don't see again closing the checkbook though. I don't understand what that means. Like closing the checkbook. Like what do we always talk about? Show me, like let people show you who they are, right, Tone? Ain't that what everybody always says?
Yeah.
And that's why people don't believe in the Dolphins because what is the narrative? We haven't won a playoff game in 25 years,
25,
and it's the longest streak in the NFL, and that's why people don't believe. Well, then I have a hard time believing, Tone, that Stephen Ross is closing the checkbook because when has he ever closed the checkbook?
That's a great point.
He's never done it. Even when this team was trash, he was paying guys like Mike Wallace and Ndamukong Suh and always going and making a splash, this, that, and the third. So, again, I'm going to use that argument against the people that believe the checkbook got closed. Where's y'all's evidence and proof of over the 20-plus years he's owned the team? I don't know, Tone. That just don't make sense to me.
He said they have been recent picks, or recent, I guess he meant to say, I don't know. We could have gotten, and they have not done it. I don't. Reasonable pick. They
Tone,
have been reasonable.
You said he said that. Who
Doc Brown,
said that?
the great Doc Brown.
Who?
Hey, I don't know who that is, by the way.
I don't know the reasonable picks that we speaking of. Doc, I mean, I don't agree with that portion of it. I'm not gonna be like I'm just gonna be honest. I think they see what they have in this team. They understand what they need to do to move forward. Greer did come out and say he dedicated a little bit more than he would have liked to, and he's changing that, and it seemed like he is when it came down to the draft picks and in the offseason. I just don't see anyone in the offseason that we would have said they could have brought in that would have made this team take a contender. I just don't know unless you have some people in mind that I'm not taking in consideration, but I don't see the reasonable picks that we could have made. And I'm talking about this offseason and the way they're moving now. It just don't seem to me. It just don't seem as if they have any pressure on them. So I will say that. He said he never paid this many players. It has always been the splash pick. That is true. But extending those players is kind of like understanding. Game Boy, don't do that. We're not picking up a guy that's played 14 games in the last 2 seasons, 7 games last season, 7 games in 2023. Stop.
And this is the point right there. Let's go back to the comment. And I hate it has to be you, Game Boy, but you know how we do here, right? Now it's time for you to get lit up, right? Hey, Tone, sometimes you got to light your homies up.
Blame Tyler Hero.
Hey, we were talking about accountability, Tone. Game Boy 305, let me hold you accountable. With the Zaire Alexander, we all know he wanted to go to Baltimore. He played with Lamar Jackson in college, right? He was going to Baltimore anyway. But let's say, right, Miami could have offered him money to get him, right? You know what that money's going to look like? That money is going to look like access of double digits, 10, 11, 12, $13 million. Then when Zaire Alexander, let me point out something else. He's played 14 games in 2 years. They play 18 games in a season.
Hey, Luke, give me a second. I'm gonna do something real. I gotta go do something real quick.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do your thing. They play 18 games. He's played 14 in 2 years. You know what would have happened if Chris Greer would have offered him 11, 12, $13 million a year, and he would have played, let's say, 7 or 8 games? This fan base would have crucified Christopher Aloysius Greer III for overplaying an injury-prone player. You see how it works? No one would have liked that. So, no, bro, miss me with the Zaire Alexander talk. He wasn't coming to Miami anyway. He wasn't going anywhere else besides Baltimore anyway. So, Game Boy 305, respectfully, dog, nah, I'm not, miss me with the Jair Alexander talk. He wasn't coming. Nene says, my question, Lou, who is the true leaders in the front office? It's a very good question. There's another scenario, Nene, to be fair. I don't think we have any true leadership in the front office neither. It's the collective. And Nene, you know that I've been trying to fight against that for I don't know how long, right? It should be one voice, right? I've made the argument for the head coach when Brian Flores was here. If you hired Brian Flores, give him the keys to the kingdom. Whether he succeeds or fails, who cares? But at least we know who to blame. Same thing with the front office, to your point, Nene. You hear Chris Greer, you know of Brandon Shore, you know of Tom Garfinkel. Obviously, Stephen Ross has a say. I'm sure the janitor, the cook, and the cleaning lady also have says in the front office. So to answer your question, who's the true leadership? I'll be fair. Just like I say, I don't think we have any true leaders in the locker room. I got to be fair. No hypocrisy and stand 10 toes down. I would say there's no true leadership in the front office as well. And that's where, whether you do like them or you don't like them or whatever, let Chris Greer be the one to make the decisions, the end all be all. So then people like me, Nene, Tone, and whoever else talk about these football teams. Now we can truly assess the job that Christopher Aloysius Greer is doing, right? But it's hard for me just to put all the blame on Chris Greer when I know he has to answer to Tom Garfinkel, when I know Brandon Shore is also in the mix, right? So that's a very good question by Nene. And Tone, I don't know if you heard what I said, but
no, I just got back. What?
The same way I say we don't have no true leadership in our locker room, Tone, to be fair to Nene and people that have her same opinion, I got to be fair. I don't think we have a true leader in the front office neither. If I'm going to be fair.
Yeah, and now we're not in the building. I don't know how much credibility I give to Omar Kelly, but he came out and said that on the Dolphins Collective. And he said one of the things that he disliked about Greer is when it came down to putting his feet down, he would never do it. He was too. Remember, I said he was too. No, remember before he said that. What did I say? It was like a show or 2 shows before that. I say my problem is don't Chris Greer come off as non-confrontational. And lo and behold, 2 shows later on the Dolphins Collective, Omar said one of his biggest things that he didn't like about that critique that he have about Christopher Greer is he's not putting his foot down. Now he has the ability to, and the thing about it, that goes to, and I'm glad who that was Nene, right? I'm glad she asked that. Nene. I'm glad she asked that question because you know what? That goes to us saying that leadership, right? You have to prove that you're a leader. You have to be the leader, right? Just because you have that position doesn't make you a leader. Because someone in that position, let's say that was me or you, in that position, and I can speak for myself. When it comes down to drafting and player personnel, bro, I hear you, but the decision is mine. Now, if that final decision isn't mine, find someone else for the job.
Facts.
because that's not how I run my team. That's not how I work. That's not how I operate. I'm sorry. I can't operate when you're gonna tell me the my job description, the things that entails in that, you're gonna have me talk to someone else and consider their mindset or their decisions over mine. No, I'm sorry. That's not how I work. I'll consider what they ask. I'll take that into consideration. You got a suggestion? Cool. If I think it works, I'll go with that suggestion. But the final say so is me. But that's me and that's my character, right? And you don't have to tell me to be like that. That's just my morals. So I'm sorry. And I can't, yo, this is wow. Tony, you're more worried about winning than they are. It's wow. But, but I'm sorry when it comes down to my mindset and me doing my job. If I sign up to be the GM here, then I'm gonna do whatever it entails to be in the GM. That's what I'm gonna do. Me, myself, and I. Everyone else, it's just people that I consider. Now, when it comes down to money and how we going to do that, cool. Then I'll talk to you, Brandon Shore. Tom Garfinkel, me and you ain't got nothing too much to say about. Because I don't care about the analytics. I don't care about, not the analytics. I don't care about the logos. I don't care about you out here putting the jumbotrons. I don't care about that kind of stuff. You know, when it comes to the marketing, that's you. Marketing ain't got nothing to do with me. Unless you want to put one of these players that I want to bring in. Oh, do you think he's marketable? Okay, do whatever you want with him. I think he can help us win football games. Now, people that help us win football games, they're marketable. It works. It goes hand in hand. You don't have to, say he don't have to be the nicest guy in the world. He don't have to be, this or that. If you get on the field and you win games, yeah, you're going to be marketable. So I don't have to talk to you, Tom Garfinkel, about anything. But what I am going to do is when it comes to me and mine's, yeah, this decision mine's. Mine's and mine's only. Everyone else, kick rocks. And that's the difference, Lou, when we both have an issue with the way we think the front office is structured, to where there is no one guy. There is no true leader. There isn't one. You know what I'm saying? We out here saying whether it was Brandon Shore or Chris Greer, the one that didn't want to play Tua. We shouldn't have to wonder who it is. It should be unquestionable. Chris Greer. That's it. Who Chris Greer ain't want to pay him. These are facts. Whatever your job title is, we should understand that you are the one making those decisions. The fact that we got to ask that question is the problem in the first place. Why do we have to ask who is the leader? Right? Why do I got to worry about Mike McDaniel going to talk to Chris I'm sorry, y'all. Stephen Ross about Chris Greer decision making? Mike McDaniel, why you care about what I'm about to get back against Calais Campbell? I'm quite sure. And if they didn't, then shame on both of them. They both failed at their job. But I'm quite sure Christopher Greer talked to Mike McDaniel and had a conversation about, listen, what I think is best for the team is we're going to move off of Calais Campbell. Right? And you could tell me, no, I think we could win and I could do this. Cool. Nice. I'll take that into consideration. But at the end of the day, if I think he is better off on another team, then I'm doing that.
I know it's a lot, Tone, but Mr. Park says, good evening, Tony, Lewis, Jess, Alex, a.k.a. Yep. Good evening, Tony, Lewis, Jess, Alex, a.k.a. The Blitz Pickup. Everyone hit the like button, subscribe, and support the Blitz Pickup. Let's go. And the only reason, I highlight this comment is for the people that don't know, Mr. Park is an OG in this community. He has the utmost, like, from me to him, I have the utmost respect for him. And again, bro, it's good that I'm able to call Mr. Park a friend. And salute to him, bro, because he always comes through and shows the platform love, plus other Dolphin content creators, always the love and support. So shout out to one of the realest dudes I've ever met on this on the internet, man, Mr. Park, man, the OG. So shout out. And be like Mr. Paul. Everybody coming in or leaving or whatever, hit the like button and support. Tell people about us because you're getting raw, uncut emotion and conversation about this team. Mr. Paul, always salute to you, homie. Game Boy says, I see Jess ask Alex for some advice. Hey, yo, that's crazy. Hey, man, listen, we are an hour and 20 minutes in. As you can see, Tony's had to leave kind of the show. You know, he has some things going on. Life is life, and everybody has a life. Everybody, you know, has things that come up, go through it. We still got 32 people in the room. We'll probably be ending it here. I'm going to wait for maybe a minute or two, see if Tone comes back. If not, again, this is the Blitz pickup. Y'all already know what time it is. We'll be back Friday, 7:30-ish. We will be late. Hopefully, Jess will be off her hiatus. But according to Game Boy 305, she asked Alex for some advice. So who knows if Jess will be coming back at this point. Whoa, Joe Riss in there saying, good, I like it raw. Joe Riss, I would ask you if you care to elaborate on that, but I think I'm going to leave that alone. Billy Basson said it's Coach Gruden time. I'm not the biggest John Gruden fan. He's never really developed any quarterback over his career. He doesn't even really like to draft quarterbacks or young quarterbacks. So, yeah, I'm not one of those big John Gruden guys. I think if the Dolphins were to fire Mike McDaniel, I think there might be other guys that would be able to come available. But look, man, again, an hour and 22 in, we're going to end the show here. For Tony, for myself, for Jess, for the producer in the back, for everybody here at the Blitz Pickup. It's been a great episode. Oh, look, Tone is back. Tone, I was going to get us up out of here, but if you have anything else, you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, you good. I was just going to tell you got to shut it down early anyway. So go ahead. End it. I just want to go ahead.
All right. Well, there you go. Again, life is life, and we're going to get up out of here. Hour and 22 in, 32 of y'all in the room. Tell a friend about us, man. If there's somebody in your family that's not subscribed, a friend, anybody that you see out, tell them the best Dolphin content is over here at the Blitz Pickup. For Tony, for myself, again, Jess, producer in the back. This is the Blitz Pickup. We'll see y'all Friday, 7:30-ish. You already know what time it is. Whether it's on the left side or the right side, or you keep it in front of you, just remember that revolver don't miss, and it always shoots off with the bang, 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 bang.